All right, good afternoon, everybody. Ron G. Afternoon Show. We have a guest right with us right now. I've been knowing this man for some years, and he has been around. He is the focus point for the community on the east side and all over San Antonio. Without further ado, my man, Mr. Vincent Dee Webb. What's going on?
Man, good afternoon, Ron. Good afternoon. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be on the show with you, man. I'm just here. I'm just here, blessed and won't complain.
All right, so let's hit it right at the stop. I gotta ask you just one question. For listeners meeting you for the very first time, who is Vincent D. Webb beyond the title?
A very humble young man. Very humble young man, come from the beginning of nothing, mother and father struggling to make something of themselves. So it's been very humbling to go through the experiences of life that has taught me. So I'm just Vincent D. Webb.
Okay. So, what moment or season in your life pushed you into community work in a serious way?
Born and raised into it. And you notice the old saying, Ron, is you volunteer for everything. I never been able to volunteer for I was voluntold.
I know that. I know that. Yeah.
I was voluntold, so I didn't really have no choice, but I made some bad choices about not listening sometimes, because you want to try to do things on your own growing up. You see your big brother. I had big brothers and sisters, so I always wanted to try to do something else, but it just was distilled in me.
Okay. So, who mentored you in your early years, and what lesson do you still carry from them?
Man, just being good to people. Just having a heart and empathy for others, man. Yeah, that carries you a long way.
Yeah. So we got to bring this statute of San Antonio. Your father, Mr. Joe Webb. He means a lot to the community. So, what does the legacy represent to you personally?
Personally, family values, community values, faith values, beliefs, integrity, stewardship, all of that plays a part.
Mm. So, speaking of that, when you look in at San Antonio today, what's the needs and the urgency that you need to get by getting tough and just getting the word out?
Hmm. Education, knowledge, knowing the difference between right and wrong.
So, you've been around San Antonio. I met. I forgot how I met you though. It was through somebody else.
Oh,
you
let
know.
me tell you, no. Let me tell you, it was COVID time, man. We was stuck out, man, and you was out there working so hard, making people feel happy, making people give them a place to go. You put a big old screen out on the wall at a place. I think it was off of
Oh, that was
Dr. Joach's son. And at that time, I was married. Me and my wife came, and I had
yes.
been seeing you, and I came and introduced myself to you, and we've been running the thing ever since.
That you know what you were right because I was doing movies on the side of a building of a restaurant.
Yeah,
Flames. It
yeah.
was flames.
Flames.
Yes. Ooh wee. And we was trying to think how can we get people together without getting out with each other. So
Yeah.
the owner with Flames said, "Oh, Ron, we got a projector. Can we get movies and put it?" So we went through city council in order to do it, and we started doing it. And you're right,
Hmm.
that was the first time. Whoa, I'm glad your memory is better than mine.
Yeah. But those are the kind of things that stick with me, because I'm the type of person, man. I give anybody a chance, and when I see people doing something that's worthwhile, I'm gonna take to it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
take to it. And what you were doing at that time, man, it touched my heart so much because so many people were dying. And so
yeah.
many people were sick at times. So many people were shut in and just going through things. So when you was gathering people, bringing them together, saying that we can have a productive and a safe environment to come together, I was all for it.
Oh man. Well, that's bringing back memories. I need to start doing that again.
Yeah. We need to. We need to do movies in the park or something.
Yes, we sure do. We'll talk about that. We'll get our man
Okay.
Tommy involved with us and get us a place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, what is the biggest challenge your organization faces? Is it funding, volunteer, awareness, or something else?
Uh, I don't really see struggles. I see communication, collaborations, unity, and it just takes more people. Just getting out there, knowing what we about, knowing what our mission is, knowing what our goals are. People are willing to come along.
So let's move on to this. Now,
Mhm.
people know Vincent as one person that's called Street Talk. That's something that you do all the time. You have numerous people on there. I tune in and watch and see who you have on, and it's unique on the people that you bring into Street Talk. So the conversations that you are having to spark the city, and what you do, you bring it to life. You bring somebody on, and you know, Vincent, I'm gonna give you your dues. You talk stuff that's happening right now. You bring in people that can do something for the city and stuff. So how do you go about that with Street Talk? Where does Street Talk come from?
Well, Street Talk was another one of those COVID kind of situations where at the time my dad was going through things, and one day he sent me a letter. He sent me a letter in the mail, and he had said, I had something for you to do, son. Check this out. Well, I read the letter. He said, I want you to go out and talk to people and just call it street talk. Just go talk to people and see. So I turned it into an advertising business, a storytelling business, and whatever else it could do to help the community. But that time, man, when my dad did that, man, that's been a blessing to me. Really had. And never knew it would turn into what it is now.
Yeah, because one thing I will say, what I always talk about on my show, because people think that we don't interact and we don't talk. And I always tell them, I said, you can hear from me about what's going on, you can hear from Vincent Dee Webb, and you can hear from Keith Scott. We all collaborate with each other. So what, we got different things that we do, but we got the same thing that we want to bring things to the community and get the word out. And that's what I like about working with you and Keith Scott, because we come together and we got that common goal. Have something for the community to do, which bring me up to this, your Joe Webb Day. That is something I've been part of, and you've been doing an excellent job on Joe Webb Day. So we know we got it coming up again, right?
Yes, sir. 2026 be our fifth year.
Oh, and you got the dates for that already?
September the 18th. September the 18th, 2026, man. We're going to be right back up there at the YMCA where he
Okay.
started at. One of his first starting points. It's always did. And here's my biggest thing. And we always talk about what drives and stuff. History.
Thank you.
History. Because we can't do nothing without history to educate to make things better. You have to have a history. That's what I tell people, man. You build off of history. You build off of history.
And speak about that. They're trying to take the history books away from us
Right.
because they're scared of the history and what's in there. We
Mm-hmm.
built this city. We built this country. We did all that, but they're trying to wipe it clean like we don't exist. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one thing, your dad itself, person, I did not get a chance to meet him. I wish I would have, but he has been a real pillar in the community on things that he did. I think you was telling me a story about bringing sidewalks on the east side and all that stuff that wasn't even done, and it was your dad who made sure that took place.
Yes, and I always tell the story about why the city came in and divided into 10 districts because the east side never got none. South side really haven't got none. West side really never had none. The north side had always had everything. So that was one of the things that we didn't have: street lights, curbs, sidewalk. The drainage was terrible. Everything was just nothing. So if you ever read a story or seen a story with Ron Nuremberg and my dad about it, telling about the story, they call him the infrastructure king of San Antonio.
Oh, man.
Because him and Cisneros, man, they did a lot. They did a lot, man, a lot. And they tell the story about how him and Reverend Khaled started the MLK March, and the city took over. But Cisneros got all the glory because he was the mayor at the time. And my daddy never cried about that. He knew the story. He knew what he did now. So it didn't take all of that. But it's always the history that settles everything. You know the history and you learn it. It'll help you build for the future. And that's my biggest thing about telling people so we can have a better future.
And you hit something there about history. We know who did things in this town. We know it. But other people kind of sort of take the credit. But if you sit down and listen to Black history right there, and you know, right now, we have people living right now that could tell you the history. We don't want to wait for them to be an ancestor. We need to talk to them now because they know what happened in San Antonio, and we need that. And every once in a while, that was coming up like I can't think of his name. It'll come to me. Mr. Williams, Charles Williams.
Charles Williams.
He's got enough history. I sit down and listen to that young man talk, and he could. And I look at him, I said, "That really happened here?" Because I'm not from here. But when I hear that history, I say, "Man, y'all, we got these history. They're here."
And I saw him the other day. I spoke with him the other day, asking about the museum. He closed down. You know, he had all that history. And I learned, I couldn't really remember, but there were two men that were representatives of the East Side before 1977, which was Mr. S.H. James and then the late, great Claude Black.
Yeah.
So those two men were there before my dad became the city council when the federal government stepped in and made the city split up to the district. Joe Webb became the first and the longest served in District 2, which was predominantly the East Side. So that history, man, I tell you all the time, Charles Williams got a lot of history. Lot of history. You know, he was the first man to run against my daddy in 1977 as city council. Yeah.
And now he's got that barber college that he started down here.
I graduated from his barber college.
And people don't know that.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of history. And that's why it's so important that we keep the history alive and don't let them take it away from them. They can always take it away on pencil and paper, but they can't take it away from the heart.
That's right. And
can't take it away from our hearts.
And they can't take us from talking about it either, because you know what? When we start talking about it, they get upset. That's because the truth hurts and they don't want to hear the truth.
All right. And I know they said Black History Month. They try, we give them the shortest month. It's every day for me.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I looked in for Black History Month and how it really started. And it wasn't because it's the shortest month of the year. It was Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. Both their birthdays are in February. So they got together and it started off at a little college. It was called Black History Week. And it started off like that. It wasn't until Gerald Ford signed it Black History Month in what year was it? I can't remember the year. But it started, that's the reason why it started, because of those two. Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, because the birthday both is in February. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think because, y'all just gave us shortest month of the year. There was a reason for that. But then I agree with you on this one. People see my posts all the time. Black history is every day.
That's right. That's right. But don't you know, Ron, it's one thing I wish, I'm going to have to work on this to get everybody to see that Alamo wasn't about white folks and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to have to educate, and we're going to have to do something and show everybody what the Alamo really was about. It wasn't about what people think it was.
Yeah, I read up on something about that, how black folks were involved in that.
Come on now. Come on now.
But you look at the history books, we're not written in there.
Hey, you said it nail on the head. They trying to erase everything that we ever created.
And like you said, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about that at all. I think
it was about unity, giving people chances, giving people opportunity to be together as one.
Yep. And if I'm right, I read something up in there about slavery. They didn't like that. It was a
Man, I'm
lot of
telling you,
things going on there. It wasn't just the Alamo. It was a lot more
right.
to it than what it was.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm so into history, telling the story, making sure that our youngsters know so they can make a better future for themselves. After they see what you went through and the struggles and the fighting and this and that,
Hmm.
they can do better.
There's some history right now with two bridges. The first one is the bridge where they got Martin Luther King up there. There's history right there. The other one is the bridge that they finally did over, and no traffic go through. You can walk on there and see everything. So the history in them bridge. Matter of fact, they had that one bridge. For some reason, I can't think the name of that bridge. The Hayes Bridge.
Hay Street
Yeah,
Bridge.
the Hayes Street Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It was dilapidated at one time.
Oh man, it was so raggedy, man. That wood, well, you scared to walk on anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had another bridge too that they don't talk about. It was over the Pine Street, right there where Pine Street is. Used to be a bridge right there across. It used to be a bridge right there. They tore it down, but it was a bridge where the Sears and Roebuck Company used to be right in there.
Okay.
The bridge right there to go, man. It was raggedy too. But we had fun riding over. My daddy had an old station wagon, and we were getting that booger, man. And see, and those are the things, man, that make the world a better place, man. When we start telling our history, and them youngsters see it, they'll do better.
Yeah.
They'll have more ideas. Oh, I remember this or that. My grandpa or my great grandfather told me, so I want to do it this way, and that makes it better. It makes it a lot better.
So and then we got these streets and the neck of the woods, and what I am seeing on the east side is this regentrification that they're doing.
Oh yeah.
I've been against that from day one, because they putting houses up that's 4 or 5 times more than what the house next door is worth, and they're complaining that property values are going down. Well, your property values went up for the houses that they can't pay those taxes.
Right.
And
Well, before my dad passed away, he was on the appraisal board downtown fighting about the taxes. He cried so bad because he said his land, the property tax was higher than his house was valued at.
Yeah. And
how many people that were crying, man, losing their houses and behind foreclosure, behind taxes, owned on the land, man. And I used to tell him, Dad, why you do that? Why you do yourself like that? He said, because if I don't do it, who else will do it? Yeah. Somebody got to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody got to fight for everybody else.
And you know what? With that being said, it's almost like it's intentional to raise the taxes more of the house so they get them out of there so they can build something else right there. And it's something, to me, my personal opinion, city council, and they never should approve that.
But let me say this: we get a little cheap change. We want to better ourselves, right? And I'm not knocking nobody for wanting to do better, but we move out the hood to do better. And then what happens? The hood falls apart because nobody wants to live in the hood no more.
And that's when they sell everything, and then that land that goes.
So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Damn if I do, darn if I don't.
They caught in between the political, whatever you want to call it, and everything.
And I'm not mad at nobody for moving out. And it's just like it is. We moved out to out there by Sam Houston High School. Used to be predominantly white. Then we moved out in Kirby. Then we moved further than that. Then now we way out Cibolo, past Cibolo. So all of them folks that lived out there, they coming back downtown. Recycle.
That's
how regentrification is. That's how regentrification is.
And that land is worth a lot more.
Oh yeah. Now?
Yeah, it's worth a lot more. Forget the structure on it. They tear the structure down instead of the land by itself.
But that's what I said. The house, the value of the house ain't even what the land is now.
Yeah.
When the taxes come.
So, I know.
I mean, it's sad. It's sad, but it's life, And it's not just here in San Antonio, too, believe me. It's happening in a lot of other places, too. Taxes, they crying and going on, this and that and that. Hey, but that's life we live in, the world we live in. What we living in today,
Yeah, it ain't like it used to be.
No,
So
sir.
let's switch gears since we're gonna come back on history somewhere down the line. Come back on the show. We're gonna have to do something about that because I like talking about that history here. But
Mhm.
let's talk about Vincent D. Webb and what he is doing today. I am seeing you out there emceeing things. I'm seeing you out there putting things together. I see you bringing groups and talent, and you got something going on at the scene coming up, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have this. I'm a part of a couple of different organizations and groups. I'm a part of Prestige Elite Global Promoters, and we bring shows, we bring entertainment to San Antonio and surrounding areas throughout the United States. Shout out to my CEO, Miss Brittany Banks. Miss Brittany Banks, shout out to you. Love you. Keep up the good work. And we rolling. We rolling. So
Yeah.
this Saturday, with the Webb Apparel and More in the Street Talk broadcast show, the Joe Webb Foundation, we present R&B Lover Show with Miss Whitley Nicole, Valentine's Day.
Oh
Yeah, it's gonna
man.
be a blast, man. She's an incredible artist with a band.
Mm.
Incredible artist with a band. So we're gonna have dinners available, giveaways, the whole 9 yards. So if you haven't got the tickets yet, you have an RSVP for your meal. Now you could come to the show, pay $20 general admission to get in. You don't have to reserve table or none of that. You could come in and mingle around or whatever. But if you want a meal, then you have to go to the Eventbrite and hit the QR code.
Okay. All
So
right.
we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time. It's 4435 Rittman Road, the scene. SCENE. The scene. 4435 Rittman Road, showtime, 8 p.m.
That's what I'm talking about. Have everything on point. Since you talking about promoter, do I have somebody to talk to you about? Now, if you know old school, everybody remember Jackie Wilson. You remember Jackie Wilson?
Oh yeah, oh
Oh,
yeah.
Jackie Wilson. Well, guess who reached out to me a couple weeks ago?
Don't tell me the manager.
His son, Bobby
Oh,
Wilson.
okay.
He sounds just like his daddy. He
Can he
danced like
go?
his
Can he
daddy.
go?
Huh?
Can he
Yes.
go?
Oh yeah, but he reached out to me to reach out to some promoters here in San Antonio because he wants to come to San Antonio to perform.
Okay.
And I talked to this guy named Eric Smith. He
Mhm.
stays here. He's the one. Him and Bobby Wilson talked to me about that. Now, Eric Smith, dad, was part of Chess Records in Chicago, where they had Muddy Waters and all of them start right there.
Yeah, yeah. This a brother here in San Antonio. There's kin to Muddy Waters.
Yeah, and so I'm talking to him. He's giving me all this music from Chess Records, and I'm putting up to play on Saturday mornings. And I
Okay.
told him, I said, I would talk to somebody, and when you brought up promoter, I said, oh, I could talk to Vincent D. Webb
Oh yeah.
about Bobby Wilson. I'll see
Connect.
I'll send you some of the stuff that he's singing on YouTube so you can check it out. But I tell you what, Vincent, he
Or
looked just
if he the son, and it didn't rub off on him, it's something wrong.
yeah. But I tell you what, he looked just like his daddy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I,
Man.
I love to. I love to collaborate with him and get with him, man. I love
Yeah.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. That's what we do. That's
So
what we do.
so that's what he's liking. But I'll hook you up with the information and all that stuff. Once we get off. But I'm glad you said that because that just doop, bell went off in my head. I talked to Vincent now. I got him right now.
Now, that's just one of the things, man. The foundation, man. We building the school onto the studio,
Yeah.
1782 Austin Highway. So
Okay.
that's my biggest thing. Now, my biggest goal when I first started out was to build the school, technical school.
Yeah.
Like when I went to high school, we had sheet metal, home ec, you name it.
Yeah.
And children had an opportunity to go other than college. If you wasn't prepared, you had a trade to look forward to.
That's it. Yes,
So
sir.
that was my biggest goal, when I first started. But I
Mhm.
kind of stayed away since we had the studio and we was doing the mass media company. Kind of got back from that.
Yeah.
It took a lot, man. They wanted so much of this and so much of that, till it kind of, in a way, it discouraged me, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't ready to put up the fight for education like that. Why should we have to fight to be educated?
Tell me about,
We
because
should be willing to educate these young children, man.
yeah,
Come on, man. Come on now.
because I do remember in high school we had trades.
Yeah,
We had woodwork, we had metal, we had auto mechanics.
That's right.
We had all that stuff going on, and that was, we had to take one of them courses in high school. It was an elective. You had to take one of those at least a semester.
That's right.
But then once you got in there, you stayed there your freshman, sophomore, junior, and when you got out, you had a trade.
You had a job opportunity.
Exactly.
You had a trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm so, and it ain't over with. Believe me, I can hear the Lord in the back of my head right now knocking.
Yeah.
He always knocking, man. Put that knowledge to use.
And
don't just let it sit back there. Let me knock it out of you. That's why.
I was in a meeting the other day with some people, and they want to get the advisory board together, and then turn around and tell them what they all need to be done, what each one need to do. And I looked at them. I said, "Why are you gonna have somebody do something to know what they're doing?" They said, what you mean by that? I said, "This is the quickest way to find out what they could do. Ask them, what gift did God give them?"
Yeah.
They got that gift. And you find out what gift they have, then you can say, "Oh, wow, he got this gift. Well, he or she could do this," and going down the line. Instead of giving something to somebody that don't have a clue what's going on, find out what their gifts are and work their strength that way.
Amen. I believe in that cold-heartedly.
Yeah.
When people come and I say, "Well, what is your spiritual gifts?
Mm-hmm.
What is your natural gifts?"
Yep.
We can put something together once I get a little idea of who you are or what you're trying to achieve.
Right. Exactly.
But I tell you, man, I got a youth program right now that I'm working with. Dante, can't call his name offhand, but man, we got these youngsters out here. They don't know once they're 17, mama can't help you no more.
That point.
Mama can't help you no more at 17. So if you ain't got it together by then, so that's why we use the mentor program, so we can avoid those situations.
And what you're saying is tapping into resources.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying that, there's resources out there that the county and city has that some people don't know about. And when they find out about it is when it's too late, like going to jail, being evicted, kids being taken away. We find out too late. We got to learn how to be proactive and let everybody know what resources are out there for them. Because there's resources out there for any situation in your life.
Well, my thing is right now, man, with Judge Cruz Shaw being reelected, because he stays on the youngsters, man. Good time to have different mentorship programs under his leadership.
Yes.
And I called him in a minute. "Hey, Judge, I got this problem. What can we do?
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to do? What's our next step with this one?"
Yeah.
Well, if he's 17, call the police, and either we just, that's the only next step to it. Especially when they in bad situations, And it's not always because they don't understand. It's because they had no mentorship.
Exactly.
A lot of single parents, whether it's a mother or father being, or the grandparent, or the uncle or cousin, somebody taking care of their child, they need assistance.
Mm-hmm. Well, what happened to remember they had a program called Scared Straight?
Yeah. I was in there at one time too.
Yeah.
And then we had the Reach SA program.
Mm-hmm.
Remember we had Reach SA program?
Yes.
With Dr. Dorian Williams.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the avenues I was looking forward to bringing in the mentorship program too for our youth.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about, man, really seriously catching back up with him and get that program back rolling again, because we were doing a lot. We were doing a lot with the youth. Davis Middle School. I was trying to incorporate Riley. In the San Antonio Independent School District need to be a part of that.
You're right on that, because we got to go back to old school and get this village back together. Because when we were growing up, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have pagers. We didn't have the internet. But somehow, your parents knew what you did down the street before you got home.
But I used to say, he lying on me. Boy, that man ain't gonna tell no story on you. I know you was around that corner.
And you come over and say, how they find that out?
But Ron, let me tell you this one, man. Let me tell you this one, boy. Y'all got to hear this one. So my second grade year, they said I was bad. They said I was too smart to this and that, that and that. So they skipped me to the third grade. I said, oh, he need to be, he just bored. So they put me in the third grade, did the same thing, put me back in the second grade. Oh, he just bad. He ain't nothing. But man, that taught me a lesson though. You know, I think about all those old times that I did get in trouble for being too loud and talking. Because I've always been a talker, you know.
Yeah.
But that taught me a lot throughout life, not to be so shy.
Boy, I tell you. Now, me, be honest with you, I wasn't a talker back in the days. I had unique situation that I had a bad stuttering problem, and when I talked, they made fun of me. They beat me up. They did
I think
all
you
that.
told me that. I think you told me that story one time about you had a stutter problem.
And here I am right now talking. The same people. I went home one year. They said, "So you the one we beat up all the time?" Yeah. and you think I forgot about that? But you know, it's amazing what God can do for you. Mm-hmm. You know, it's so amazing how He could turn around, and things just turn around. What you were, you're not that now. You're completely different, and stuff. But that taught me a lot. It taught me how to bob and weave. I tell you that much.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah.
So let me ask you this, Ron. I remember at one time, wasn't you in Williams museum?
Yes, I was.
Charles Williams Museum?
Uh-huh.
How much education did you get out of that? That museum?
Man, I learned some things in there. I seen the first barber. I seen blacks had this one place they went to that's for the elite. And of course your dad photo was in there and talking about him, and there was a lot of history in there I did not know about. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Williams would sit down and talk to me. He would tell me this: one day when I'm not here or I'm absent or somewhere, you'll be able to conduct a tour. I said, Mr. Williams, I can't do what you do. You know all that. I'm just listening to you. But listening to him, I learned a lot from him by listening to him. And I'm going to tell you what, Mr. Williams was brash. He would tell it like it is. He did not sugarcoat anything, but he knew his stuff.
Amen. Sure did. Had a lot of good stuff in there. I had a chance to get up in there and catch a couple of meetings, and I think you interviewed me there one time too. A couple years. We did an interview in there.
Sure
there was Joe Webb Day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say this, Ron.
Yeah.
When we talk about history and the things that go on in this world, we're making history today. With everything that's going on, there's gonna be some history that no one will never forget.
No, you're right
this
about
time
that.
Right here, 2025, 2026, this is history. Some serious history, man. I mean, the things that's going on with our so-called president, historical marks, man. There's no way in the world Congress got this man, allowing him to do the things that he done. But they slowly but surely coming around and putting a stop to the foolishness.
You know why?
That's pure foolishness.
Yeah. You know why? Because the same thing that happened to blacks is starting to happen to them, and now they understand.
Right. Exactly.
They truly
when it start hitting home, they wake up.
Mm-hmm.
They start waking up. I didn't know. Yeah, we've been saying the same thing. We didn't want it to happen to us, but it did.
For years, we've been saying that. They just looked at us, whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, whatever is turned to reality. My uncle always told me, you want to get somebody's attention, hit them in the pocketbooks.
Hey, that's what, and they said, well, do you do it? Yeah, we do it. We do it often. Mm-hmm. If everybody do it, it'll make a stick. It'll make a big stance.
Yep.
But if you just have a few doing it, hey, they recognize it. But if everybody doing it, it's going to impact tremendously.
Right.
Tremendously. Have a great value to what we do.
A matter of fact, let everybody know early voting starts next week on the 17th.
That's right.
So let your voice be heard and everything. And I'm proud to say that I'm a Bexar County election judge.
Oh,
I've been doing that for years. A lot of people don't know that. I wanted to go see what's going on, and every time it come up for me to go ahead and recertify again, I'm right there doing it. So I'm at it again, and I brought 4 more people on board to become either a clerk or election judge. So I'm recruiting, tell everybody to get out there and do it, and it's not free. They say you volunteer, but they do pay you hourly.
yeah.
And so I am proud of that. I'm also proud to make sure that everybody got to vote, because on my sister station, which is Texas in Color, I interview candidates from all over the state of Texas on what's going on. I educate people on voting, who to vote for. See, people don't realize this election coming up, this primary on March 3rd, there are 4 pages on the Democratic side. There are 3 pages on the Republican side. Don't go in there and play tic-tac-toe. You don't know who they are. Go to bearcounty.org election, and you could download the sample ballot. Educate yourself before you get there.
Say that again, Ron. Say that again so they can hear you.
All right. There are 4 pages on the Democratic side on this primary election. There are 3 on the Republican side. Please go to bearcounty.org election, download the sample ballots, learn what's on there, and go in there and vote, and don't play tic-tac-toe, and don't act like you don't know what's going on. Because when you're voting now, you're voting for the future.
Amen. Amen. Send me that link so I can share it too.
Okay.
So they'll know. We need to educate our people every day, each and every day. Each one teach one, make this world a better place.
Amen to that. All right, my brother, you got any closing words before we get up and get out of here?
I just want to say I appreciate everybody. You know, I had been sick last week, so down and out, man, food poisoning or cold, stomach virus. And I appreciate all the prayers and support. And I want to see y'all Saturday night, R&B Lover Show, 4435 Rhythm Road, The Scene, with Miss Nittany Nicole and her band. It's going to be a Valentine's Day throw down.
I hear you, my brother. All right, Mr. Vincent Dee Webb, you take care. Looking forward to talking to you some more.
Amen. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'm out of here. Have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.